Hello, love. What do you want? Do you want a cappuccino? Cappuccino. Do you want sprinkles with that? Coming up, love. That's great. If you're in a rush, why don't you make it yourself, love? It's Cafes Week.
10 aspiring designers competing for one life-changing contract to transform a luxury hotel apartment in Cornwall. Last time,
It's like watching a Diet Coke advert.
the designers put the glam into glamping.
You can't send me home. I've done a fun gypsy wagon.
Paul and Banjo sailed through.
This is the boat that rocked.
Amy fell foul of the judges.
All you're doing is looking at the...
But it was a dark day for Dean.
I'm going to go straight in for the juggler on this one.
Thank you for having me. Take care, guys.
It's week 6 and the remaining designers have arrived at Michelle's Brighton studio to hear their next brief and battle it out for a place in the semi-final.
This is it for...
Feeling kind of empty. We're here. Final 4. Honestly blows my mind.
To enter the week as a winner is a feeling that I actually haven't had before.
Are you ready for it?
Kind of, for you.
I stepped it up last week, so I'm nervous that I might have to step it up even more.
Everyone's really, really good. So it's anyone's to lose, I suppose.
Here they are, the fabulous foursome.
Hi, Alan.
How you feeling?
Good.
Good.
Does it feel a bit eerie now everyone's gone?
They're haunting us, though.
So who's going to win? Who's got their eyes on the prize? Come on.
I think we all do at this point.
I say it every week, so...
You save it. And I love your outfit. Is your horse tied up outside?
He's Zorro.
It's Zorro, isn't it? And who knows what Michelle is plotting this week?
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh, speak of the devil. Here she is.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Michelle.
Michelle.
For this week's challenge, we're heading to the coastal town of Margate.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I've got 2 high street cafes that need to be brought up to speed.
Margate, Kent's seaside capital of cool with a mile of sandy beaches, Turner's Contemporary Art Gallery and the retro Dreamland amusement park. It's also home to 2 much-loved cafes that the designers must transform with their skills and vision.
The owners want the spaces to be multifunctional, so that's attracting really solid daytime trade, but being able to be used in the evening for maybe more relaxed drinks and dinner.
Once again, you're working in pairs, and teams will have to design a cafe each. Fran, you'll be working with Amy.
Yes.
And Banjo, you'll be working with Paul. Yes, it's Battle of the Sexes. And, of course, I have to be impartial because I'm the host, but come on, lads! Yeah! You can do it!
Ladies, you know what to do. Indeed. So I'm expecting you to collaborate, but at this stage of the competition, I need to see clear ownership of the design decisions. What I'd suggest is you give each other clear zones to take responsibility for.
And you need to bring your A game, because only 3 of you can stay in the competition. God. We'll see you at the seaside.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Going to Margate.
Come on, Banjo.
We can do it.
We can beat the boys.
Paul and Banjo are first to meet their clients Eli and Heather, owners of live music cafe Olbies.
So we'd really love to know a little bit about the space and what you're expecting from us.
It should be a space where diverse communities come together, because that's what happens here. Cool, kind of soulful, but jazzy as well. This is Margate with a Caribbean twist.
Are you open to colour? Where are you at
Now,
with
I think
that?
we're open to colour, because in the day, sometimes it was just a little bit too dark. It does need a refresh. It does need to be more comfortable.
What we need to do is look at how you can appeal to your daytime Margate passers-by.
Exactly. The daytime we need to survive. We are just literally a stone's throw away from Turner. We have to find a way to get those people, instead of walking past, get them to walk in
Yeah.
What kind of food do you guys serve?
We're known for the best roast on the coast. We were voted second best in Kent by locals.
We feel the heart and soul, so we're going to bring it for you.
Bring the heart, brother, bring the heart.
Bring the heart. We'll see you in Margate.
See you soon.
See ya.
Bye. Bye-bye.
It's such a nice space. They're so invested in it.
No pretense. If we keep it a welcoming space, I think that's the key.
Sort of French Caribbean could attract a bit more upmarket kind of customer. You get those sort of brass curtain rails that you just draw around the entrance, and then the little kind of French cafe curtains that soften the space during the day.
I want to make sure it has like heart and soul.
Yeah.
So it's about taking that Caribbean vibe.
Yeah.
So I want to pop bright, fresh blue on the walls,
but adding a cool, homely twist on that.
If Paul and I can meet somewhere in the middle with his style and taste and my heart and soul, I think we might make some magic. So pressure's on.
I think this will be good.
Margate,
yeah,
the Caribbean twist.
We got this.
We both want the same vision, but I don't know how Banjo works. He doesn't know how I work. We can only guess at this stage.
Next door, Fran and Amy are getting insider info from cafe owner Roy on his family-run cafe, Charlie's.
We're right on the most prominent place in the seafront, and our prices are very reasonable, probably the lowest price in the town. You know, you can still get a cappuccino for £2.
Oh, we can't wait to visit then.
You can get anything from beans on toast to T-bone steaks.
In terms of the space, where are you at it with it?
Well, we didn't want sort of nets and fish hanging from the ceiling and things like that, because we're on the seafront. We don't want that. We want it sort of, it's like coming to somebody's comfortable lounge. It was an old Indian restaurant before.
Okay.
So mosaic tiles. You can do whatever you like. You know, if you want to rip it off, rip it off. If you want to cover it, cover it.
You can trust us.
Yeah, you're in safe hands.
Yes, take care.
Bye, Rosie. Thanks so much.
Bye.
What are you thinking?
Sounds like a family place.
Not coastal, not
cliche.
coastal
is really good.
I think one of the main things is to get rid of that mosaic.
And that bar, the bar at the back looks pretty messy. It's a toughie. You've got that awful mosaic tiling. But I think Amy and I really understand colour and pattern, so I'm hoping our collaboration will just make us both really strong. Art Deco is so key in terms of it being on the British coastline. I took that reference from Dreamland in like really contemporary colours, maybe with like panelling.
And also just making the back area just more inviting, because you imagine it would be like everyone wants to be at the front for the view, but I think we could give someone a reason to go to the back again. So my idea for the colour palette was just to kind of reference Turner. I did loads of lovely beach paintings of Margate, sunrise and sunset, so there's some oranges in there, some teal, a bit of aqua, not too bright. I think Fran and I have a lot of instinctual creativity within us, and we're also quite harmonious, so hopefully that'll continue this week into the next challenge.
Now, Margate's dubbed Shoreditch by the Sea. Do you reckon they should cater for these trendy London types like me who come down on a skateboard with a Hoxton fin?
I know what you mean, and I think Margate's found its cool by being Margate, just in the same way that you have found your cool, by just being yourself. So our designers just need to interpret it in their own way and not try and replicate cool from anywhere else. That would be a real mistake.
Are you expecting them to have a few nods to the seaside, or would you see that as tacky?
No, I think good design is always about the location, but they have to come up with their interpretation of that.
These cafe owners who probably had these cafes for years, who've just poured their heart and soul into their business, so you really don't want to mess it up, do you?
And often they have very clear ideas about what they think is right, because they're very passionate about their businesses.
I think it's going to be very tense at this seaside, I do.
In the summertime, when the weather is hot, you can stretch right up and touch the sky.
Each designer will be responsible for separate zones within their Margate cafes. For the boys, just off the seafront, in the heart of the town's creative quarter, lies Olbies.
Soul Cafe.
Soul Cafe.
Ooh. Wow. I'm suddenly nervous that we're going to ruin it. It's beautiful already.
I think we're amplifying.
And for the girls, situated directly on the beachfront, is Charlie's.
Hello. Oh, hello, Mosaic.
Hello, Mosaics.
What's your thoughts? There's a lot to change, isn't there?
The thing is, you come in, right?
Yeah.
And the first thing you see is the entrance to the toilet.
So what are you doing?
So, fancy doorway, big entrance moment.
Yeah.
All of these lights are being replaced.
Paul will be redesigning the front of the cafe and Banjo the bar, the mezzanine at the back, as well as the DJ booth.
DJ booth, yeah. I'm turning it into a DJ cabana. Yeah. And then I want to ply that back wall full of shutters.
So this is going to be kind of more relaxed dining.
In their cafe, Fran will be taking care of the front dining area.
Whoa!
And Amy has taken on the back section and the bar.
The back wall of the bar is a bit terrifying.
Look at that.
OK, I'll put some doors on that. We just don't want to see it. This is also my little area. I quite like this for evening.
It actually feels quite nice and intimate.
But it feels like a cafe run by boys. What do you think?
Perfect.
It's a cafe run by boys being transformed by a team of girls.
May the men win.
May the men win.
The teams have only 2 days to complete their designs.
You can't have a Caribbean bar without coconut.
Oh. Don't laugh. What are we gonna do?
And to transform their cafes into day and night destinations.
This is my hand-printed, hand-blocked, designed by me, Caribbean, tropical, British, French fusion.
What is this?
This is Chestnut Flame. Maybe this is like the gods of interior design saying Chestnut Flame wasn't the way to go.
This is my mad table. That's an old cable drum. Whoa. Whoa.
As always, a team of artisans, builders, carpenters and painters will help bring their vision to life.
Hi guys.
Morning. Morning.
Welcome. We got a big job.
Hey guys, welcome to Charlie's.
Morning.
So decorators, we're going to start with just getting all the ceilings painted.
Yep.
We're getting rid of all of these lovely tiles.
Yep.
All need to be covered. I don't really want to be in competition with Amy, but at the same time I am. But we're both coming at it as, let's ace this space together.
We're doing a kind of British pub with a Caribbean twist. I'm taking the bar area and the mezzanine and this DJ booth. And Paul...
French Caribbean cafe, welcome.
Yeah, French. Don't forget French.
Don't forget French.
That's Paul's. So should we get cracking?
I think Banjo thinks I'm obsessed with French bistros, as if that's my lifestyle somehow. But we were both referencing this kind of French Caribbean glamour. We didn't want it to just be a jerk chicken cafe experience. We wanted it to be more elevated. But at the end of the day, it's Margate and it is a pub. So you've got to get a fine balance of this thing.
I think Paul's trying to live out like his Parisian fantasy of designing like a French bistro. And like, I'm so happy for him. Like, I'll accommodate. And I think that's beautiful. But nowhere in the brief it said French.
In his mezzanine area, Banjo has a vision for his refurbed shutters.
This is my shuttle wall, my crowning glory in the space. You're going to see it's full of shutters. I'm wanting to place it like Tetris. It'll be a bit of a fiddly gang. But I'm wanting this whole blue space to be covered in shutters in different kind of ways. When I thought of the Caribbean and all these different colourful musical places that are full of history and soul, all of them kept coming back to shutters.
With accents of pale blue on the walls, Banjo will give a timeless Caribbean charm to his songs. The DJ booth will become a cabana. The mezzanine will show off his oversized table as well as a shutter feature wall. Inspired by a rum shack, the bar will have new doors. Paul's bespoke fabric will be used on the banquette window seating and as a wow factor entrance. French cafe curtains will dress half of the window and an upcycled reception desk will sit in front of a wall of Caribbean photographs. Rope lighting will sweep through both of their areas. Paul's creating purpose-built light fittings for the tables, giving a sense of continuity throughout the cafe.
We wanted this faded Caribbean glamour, created accents between cafe, bar, mess, so therefore you anchor the zone. This is definitely going to be a winning design. The creative process with Banjo and I was really easy. I don't use the word very often, but it was really organic. Neither Banjo or I are about ego, so it's actually just a really, really cool design that works with both.
But at Charlie's, Fran is creating an Art Deco feature wall to disguise the toilet.
Currently, the toilet is the main feature as you walk through the front door. So I am going to build a toilet door, and there'll be lots of buttons to paint, lots of MDF shapes to paint. When you go into a space, you want to be hit with something like, oh, wow, I've arrived, as opposed to, I'm going to have a wee.
And she's on a mission to reupholster the existing banquette seating.
I haven't done it before, but I feel like it's just like wrapping a Christmas present. To be honest, the brief was quite confusing. They told us not coastal. You don't take inspiration from the seafront, where are you going to go? I came up with Art Deco, kind of off the back of Dreamland and Art Deco being on the coast. I wanted initially to do like a scallop there, but I started cutting into it, I think it was messed it up. So I'm thinking I'll cut a channel in the back and along there.
The whole thing is like native skimming. Yeah. So just one of the games of putting native features.
I'll work on it. I can't use it because it's a bit too 50s style now.
Art Deco motifs will pull together Fran and Amy's vision with the space painted in peach, aqua and red tones, their tribute to artist J.M.W. Turner. In Fran's zone, a 1920s feature wall will hide the toilet and cupboards. And there will be upholstered banquette seating and chairs with bespoke gold studs. The bar in Amy's section will show off painted anaglitter wallpaper and new stools. She will transform the forgotten rear section into a modern-day speakeasy with a vibrant ceiling and photographs on the wall.
So I've basically got a door that I want to use as a bit of a nod to the speakeasy. When you would come to the front door, they would have small holes in them to identify people with a little kind of eye swing. When Fran suggested doing 1920s Art Deco, I just immediately thought a speakeasy at the back would be so cool because it's something that draws your attention. You know, it's not something predictable like an Instagram wall or, you know, it was a bit more considered as a space.
Amy's colour scheme is inspired by Turner's painting, Sunset, off Margate Pier.
I thought that was a perfect idea, was pick up on the colours from the painting, and it's more about the aquas that we have in there, the kind of sea foam colours.
As well as project managing the bar and speakeasy, Amy has taken on the task of recovering the tables throughout the entire cafe.
I'm doing the communal jobs right now that are going to elevate the whole place rather than focusing on my area. There's just so much to do, so we just need to get it moving, basically.
Ah, perfect.
Around the corner, Paul is adding fine detail to his tables.
Cool. Loving your work. So plan on track, get all the woodworking for cafe tables, shutters, lights done this morning, and then essentially Banjo's got bigger builds, so the carpenter should then be able to jump onto those areas.
Paul!
Yeah.
So, with the carpenters,
right,
I'm just making my own plan.
I want to do all the woodworking this morning.
Okay, I've got like my banquette to do, my shutter wall.
You've got
I've
a lot more
table.
carpentry.
Yeah, I've got the
Which is why basically, if I get mine out of the way,
but yours will be all finished, and then maybe mine won't.
It's literally cafe tables and a shutter.
Yeah.
And that's it.
He's got the carpenters doing all of these stuff first, but I need stuff done too. So, like, literally, like, I don't know what to do. I've asked him, I said, can I borrow the carpenter? And he's like, yeah, sure, but let me just get this really complicated thing done first, and if I can finish mine, then he's all yours.
This takes me back. Oh, holiday dear in the 80s. Oh, sucking on a strawberry split, wearing a kiss me quick hat, riding on a donkey. Oh, the best. Taking off your sandy trunks behind a towel. Sea air, the smell of batter. Kids today haven't lived. Who needs to go abroad when you got Margate? With the cafes buzzing with activity, it's time for me to check in with the designers.
Fran!
Hi, Alan.
Oh, what are you doing?
I am covering my banquette. I am dead shocked that it's come out so well. But it's taken me forever.
Why, what's up?
It's just I had to take off all the upholstery.
Oh.
Then I was like, I can't take that long. Surely it's just a bit of stapling. Yeah. No. Like, it is hardcore. But We're not going home. It's down to one of the boys.
Oh, girl power! Girl
Yeah,
power.
exactly,
I
exactly.
love it.
Yeah.
Which Spice Girl would you be?
I think Scary.
I'd say that.
Yeah.
Especially with that stapler in your hand.
All right.
Which
well,
Spice Girl do you think I'd be?
Baby.
It's hardly going to be sporty, is it? You could have said posh.
Really?
In Olby's basement, the master of haberdashery reigns supreme as he musters up a grand entrance piece with his bespoke Caribbean fabric.
I am making Cafe Colombia. When you go into a French bistro, and this being a French Caribbean bistro, you go through the door, curtains come around the entrance, and King Street here is really windy. So basically, they'll be able to close them. It keeps the wind off the street.
All right, let's mark these out.
Whilst upstairs, Banjo is having to negotiate a mountain of design decisions.
Banjo, do you want the picture hooks taken down?
Picture hook's gone. Caribbean peach on the corner there. You vibing it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here you go, Banjo.
Yeah, she fits.
So Banjo colour-wise, going to go with the white outlines, red centres, dark blue on the bottom.
Feels like Paul and I are kind of riding solo. Like, I want our whole space to be perfect, not just mine. So I do want us to talk a bit more. And it's like, paging Paul, we have a space together. Oh, stunning. That is gorgeous. One upholstered bench, 4 to go. That was easy. No wonder Paul does lots of upholstery and fabric.
Hark, I hear a sewing machine.
Oh, here he is.
Paul's in his happy place.
You're right, Alan. How are you doing?
Yeah, great. Now, what's this Hessian? They've reminded me of coming last in the sack race on Sports Day. It gives me the ick looking at that. I can feel my psoriasis flaring up.
It's coffee sacking. So the idea for me was mixing Caribbean coffee sacks, but using it as a French curtain. So it's turning it round. You think French bistro is sophisticated, but you use coffee sacking, which is really it's such an organic, natural material. So the main challenge for me was basically how do you create this entrance moment that during the day you are a cafe, but then at night you're a really cool.
Oh, it's a bit like me, isn't it?
Exactly.
Boring Alan during the day, at night. Cider man.
And then basically the lining of that.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
Oh, Hessian on the back.
Yeah.
What a twist.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I'm off to get an antihistamine. See you later.
Charlie's owners want to retain their original chairs, so all Amy can do is tar each one up with a pop of black paint.
I would think that tables and chairs are the most important part because it actually fills the entire space. The rest of the stuff on the walls and everything is nice to have, but like if they've got nowhere to sit, we just need to get these done. It's also beneficial to both of us. It needs to look good as a whole and not just individual spaces. You never really necessarily think that you'll be in the final 4. And then you get here and you're like, damn right I want to be in the semi-final. It's like, focus on the goal.
3 hours left of day 1.
I like that you're my Debbie McGee. This is good.
Yeah, thanks, love.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Down we go.
Amy has added the exterior to her extensive workload.
I want to take the sign down to see what's under it because it might be quite nice. If not, we're going to take the existing sign, flip it, repaint it and put the new branding up. Oh, OK. I think we call that a day under there and flip them over and put them back up, right?
I can't believe it's going to actually take me a whole day to do these. Like, it's just such a huge amount of time.
While Fran's still battling her banquettes.
Maybe the second one will be quicker.
I did try to say upholstery is hellish, don't do it, but we all make our own decisions. And it does look lovely. It's just, does it look lovely and then there's less done elsewhere?
With time running out, the boys are having an urgent tete-a-tete.
I'm gonna give you the score, right?
Right, OK.
I've got to say.
Yep.
Like, I'm really nervous about how much I've got to do.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm kind of freaking out.
Yeah.
Really need to get the carpenters this afternoon.
Well, forget the curtain rail. Shutter wall is practically done. Reception counter tomorrow.
Yeah.
And have the carpenter for the rest of the afternoon.
You're a gentleman.
I know.
I just... maybe I just had to plead for it.
It's all yours, baby.
All right, that was good.
Yeah.
I feel much better about that. So, like...
Cool.
Let's do it.
Minutes remaining until they have to down tools, and although Amy is furiously working, the girls are miles behind.
This might go well or badly. Okay. Now we're talking.
Oh, God, he's a bit heavy.
This is like boot camp. I think I've done a lot of the communal areas. I've taken that one for the team, I guess. But tomorrow I need to focus probably more on my own area to make sure that it's exactly as I want it, because I don't want to sacrifice any of that for all of our communal jobs. I wish we had like a time machine.
Totally.
We could do tomorrow and then we could like go back
Rewind.
a little bit and do some more.
Yeah, that'd be good. We don't. I'm conscious I've been staple gunning all day. I don't want Amy to feel the pressure's been on her shoulders more than mine. So tomorrow I need to step up a bit more and get more involved.
I think tomorrow will be about managing our trades.
Basically, it's one space. It's not my space, it'll be your space, darling.
That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. Sweet.
I'm concerned about having lots of big stuff to do on a second day. I would have loved that big stuff to be done today and do the fluffy stuff tomorrow. But as it turns out, I've got lots more to do than I bargained for on, like, the last day.
Banjo isn't worrying for no reason. There is a lot to do tomorrow. There is a lot to do. It's as simple as that.
Day 2 at Charlie's, and the girls are behind schedule.
Where's my drill?
Where's my capping?
Fran and Amy have redivided their individual zones. As Amy has taken the lion's share of the communal space, Fran's now taking responsibility for a part of Amy's bar.
They look great.
Amy will be styling the front and Fran the back.
We're going to reuse the existing lighting and just reclip it back in, but it means that the shelving that we're putting in needs to obviously match the length of this LED strip light. Yesterday, I was just stuck doing that banquet, and it just took me out the game a bit. So today, I need to keep my eye on the bigger picture.
Fran doing the back of the bar is great because I don't need to worry about it. And I'm still finishing off the rest of this stuff that's for both of us.
With one less job to do, Amy is concentrating on her 1920s speakeasy partitions made from pine doors she rescued from a bargain bin.
These are amazing.
Yeah, they'll need a couple of coats to give them a bit of depth.
So these are the partitions that will go in between the tables. So I basically want to use the owners as characters for the speakeasy. Black and white pictures, like in the old days you would have Frank Sinatra. So we can kind of like differentiate each area.
Should we lift it all the way up, yeah? Yeah.
She's also designed the bar frontage to cover the mosaic tiles.
Hi, Amy, love.
Hi, Alan.
Oh, my God. Are you doing a banner for me, Alan Carr?
This is the new signage for outside.
Do you reckon I could have a go?
Yeah, if you pull this side, that's it.
God, this designing's hard work.
Oh.
I was just mincing around with a blooming paintbrush. Oh, my God, this is so good.
Alan, you've hit a 9 easy.
9?
Yes, look at that.
I can retire from showbiz. Now, can I be a bit Debbie Downery?
It depends what you got.
It's very daytime, isn't it, this minty green? And we're looking for somewhere that goes daytime into night. Fran and Amy's colour scheme has been inspired by a Turner painting, which is all well and good, but is it a bit too niche for holidaymakers coming to Margate? I do wonder whether those vibrant pastel colours maybe are too much, especially when you're trying to create a nighttime ambience.
Hello, darling. Hello, good looking. Hello, darling. Hello.
Blue, blue, blue. Blue, 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 blue. Blue, blue, blue.
That and this all blue.
Blue, 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 blue. Blue. Does that make sense?
At Olbies, Banjo is taking full advantage of the carpenter's skills to enhance his section.
Hello, darling. Hello, good looking.
In the mezzanine, he finally gets his maze of shutters fixed to the wall.
The shutters, just magic. And it's actually pretty crazy what you can achieve with an entire team of skilled labour.
Paul is adding finishing touches to his light fittings.
These are basically going to be fixed to the walls by the electrician there, and they basically hang down with a rattan pendant.
And working on his reception counter in the main cafe area.
This actually defines the space. So you come through the doors, you'll have the curtain with the cafe entrance, and then immediately in front of that, you will have this counter with a reception area to take bookings. So it's obvious from the minute you walk in, oh, right, I'm in a cafe now. The plan was it was going to have plantation shutters on the front, but we'll have to review progress, basically. The priority is today to get the mezz and the bar done.
I love that. That is gorgeous. Whack her up.
As well as the addition of some handmade signage, Banjo installs extra storage for the bar.
So I'm cladding it with chicken wire, because she's a rum shack. So that's going to go chicken wire inside, and then she'll be full of coconuts. I'm seeing progress, so that's good. And Paul has come to the party, like, he really has. Like, we're communicating more, we're sharing our trades. I mean, I'm still doing the outside, and he's still just doing his little space. But one team, one dream.
Banjo, I've just put the finishing touches on the window signs if you want to come and check them out.
Ta-da! You are a magician. I think they're going to be so chuffed with this.
Cool. Glad you like it, man.
B-A-N-J-O.
Bingo.
B-A-N-J-O. B is bonkers. A, Australian. N, nice. J, come and join me. Oh.
You hit that note.
I did hit that note. There's dogs out there baying, come into the door.
I loved it, Alan on the deck.
I know. Listen, I'm in shutter heaven. Are they going to open?
Yeah, there are a couple of them open. Try that one.
Oh, what's under here?
Maybe it'll be like a pop of colour or some plants spilling out.
It's like a Caribbean advent calendar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I can't sit here chatting. I've got to drop some fat beats.
Go for it.
Oh. Margate, scream! Woo! Thanks, Banjo.
Still so much to do. I think we're like past the point of doing custom like shelving for bars.
So let's just do a square shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Still running behind time, Fran and Amy are forced to compromise their original designs.
The bar is now turning into a bit of a drama. We've just got no time, so we need to just think on our feet.
I think we're doing this smart thing and just ditching jobs. I think we're both concerned about all of it. I think it's hard not to be, I want the big main bits done. And I feel like that's the focus.
Meanwhile, at The Boys, Paul is mounting his curated collection of Caribbean images.
Club Tropicana Dramarama. feel like I'm making an entry in a ball game.
And unveiling his big showpiece.
Part of the brief was that they wanted to get that passing Turner crowd. Well, they'll all want to come in here. That's just genius, isn't it?
Release the board!
That's it.
Yep, got it.
As Banjo frees up the concealed mezzanine window.
This has been boarded up for years, and this has got to be a daytime cafe, so I need that gone. Let there be light. I can imagine coming up here, light streaming in, jerk roast. Yum.
There he is.
For a minute, I thought you were holding up a rah-rah skirt.
It doubles up, doubles up. I'll take it down, we can both have a go. I've got to. You can even use your maracas.
Oh, look at these.
Well, it's the whole, you know,
I'm
the
like
whole...
Bez from Happy Mondays. All right. That's because that's the look you wanted, Bez, isn't it, from Happy Mondays?
It is, I was thinking Bez, yeah. Not Havana, not Cuba.
This is you, isn't it? Dressing everything up, making it all look lovely and pretty and everything.
Yeah.
You've had problems in the past where you weren't completed. Are you going to be ready?
Well, do you know what, Alan? I'm going to invite you for a rum and coke, and I'll tell you when I'm done.
You're getting cocky. You better be finished in time.
I will.
Less than 2 hours remaining.
I'll block you out where I'm going to do.
As Amy oversees the Art Deco detailing to the front of the bar, Fran is puzzle solving at the rear.
I've run out of time to do the back bar as we had hoped. So now I'm just freestyling somewhat, just whacking up this vinyl, and I'm going to put up the existing shelves, which I gleefully took down.
The back of the bar has been left a bit into the last minute. I want to help, but I'll just try and get through all my jobs first to make my space look OK, and then I can go back. We are in a competition. I love Fran, and we're good friends, and we work well together, but I'm not going to sacrifice my own area over stuff that Fran's not factored in because, like, we're down to the final 4 and I don't want to be the one that goes this week. I need to finish my space.
I'll whack a coat of paint on it, but I just don't know what else I can do, really. I've got to just focus on just dressing my space a bit because at the moment it's a complete disaster zone and I have to come back to the bar. Like, I just don't have the time.
Paging Paul Alfred Andrews. Paul Alfred Andrews!
Oh, that'd be me.
1 hour to go. Get a wriggle on.
Absolutely, darling.
It's a race against time as both teams work flat out for a place in the semi-final.
Up against it, it's just trying to work out what goes where.
I can see the ocean. I can just get my drink.
Wrong door.
Almost like where it is now, I think.
Up a bit.
I mean, it will have to go higher.
No!
It hasn't smashed, has it?
Just a little crack. That's my favourite thing.
Nothing else is finished, but at least the banquette looks good.
Are we overachievers?
I think we might be.
I might just get you to do partitions and hang these bits in mine.
At Charlie's, with Amy's full attention now on her own section, Fran's frustration is mounting.
I've done that, I've done my bit. I think she's got to do the curtain now. I've got a cafe that's nowhere near finished. I need to get my mirrors up. So I've painted that. I'm out. Worried about the bar, dude. We've got to get that curtain up to hide this cupboard. Done the marbling, I've done the painting. If you can sort out the curtain section.
Oh, it's not mine, Fran. I've done the front, babes.
I said I'd take care of the back bar.
You that's the back.
Yeah, but I can't.
I know, babes, but literally, I've done all communal jobs for 2 days. I've done all the tables, I've done all the chairs, I've vinyled all the chairs at home. Like, I need to also just get my own bit.
Okay, but I don't have time to do it.
Okay, cool, we'll just leave it.
Just don't like that if this was yours and you were supposed to like that. I just feel like we're all supposed to be like together, and when you're like, well, I've done all the tables and but I was doing the banquette, like I couldn't not do it. And if this was your area, you'd have to do the same. I just.
Did Fran brief you on anything that was happening with the curtains? Yep. Cool, if I can help. We just need to basically work double the speed. I've got to move on, because that's the only option. Shall we chat?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I didn't mean to snap, but I didn't mean to say anything that was out of time. Why don't we just regroup and do the curtains together right this minute? Okay. Right this minute. Come on. This looks amazing. It's so beautiful. Feels total daytime. This feels nighttime. Like, we've done an amazing job. Stop for 10 seconds. We've done an amazing job, okay?
I'm sorry if I up on the bar.
You didn't.
Like, I thought I just had to do that bit. I didn't realise I had to do that bit.
We're doing it together now. We're doing it together now, okay?
Oh, Banjo. Oh, I'm gagging for a drink.
Oh, I'll be back fixed.
This is my elephant ear. We did it!
Yeah.
Oh,
darling.
Make it a double, Eli.
Ready to cast their professional eye over the restaurants, the judges.
First time for both of us in Margate, then.
Helping Michelle this week is retail space entrepreneur Ross Bailey, responsible for a growing number of pop-up cafes under the umbrella of his global business, Appear Here.
So here we are in Margate, 2 cafes to look at, and you'd think that'd be quite straightforward, but you've got a lot of very different customers here, because we've got the cool crowd going for the art, you've got the locals, and then you've got day trippers.
My view is think about who your crowd is, create something for those individuals. What I really want to see is those little bits of detail, the thing that feels like it's speaking to you, the little obsession over every inch so that it comes together.
Because in a way, the colour of a cafe is the people that come there, and everything else just has to be really, really well thought through and considered.
The Boys Cafe is first up to be judged.
Every single note on that brief is basically articulated from the outside through to the windows. Entrance cafe, bar, mez, DJ. Done. You want them to feel the passion that I've felt doing this. I'm sure they will, but you just don't know.
It's honestly everything and a little bit more. I can hear the coconut swaying in the breeze, the sun on my skin. It's beautiful. Like, I'm really chuffed with it. My heart and soul is in this place, 100%, so I will fight for it.
It was a kind of very just mundane navy blue, and now that pingy sky blue, loving it. And love the signs.
Makes you want to go in, doesn't it?
Totally. Ooh. First impressions, I love how that sky blue on the outside draws you in, and there's little pops of it around the space. So I'm feeling warm, convivial.
Yeah, do you know what, Michelle? I feel that they've really thought about as well the journey. Like, you've got the curtains, you open them up, you've got this piece sat here where you know that someone's about to greet you. And then the little touches, like the shutters, are beautiful.
It feels very cohesive, doesn't it?
I think the way that they've done the little lights in each corner, I think this could work really well in the evening. The owners of this place are Jamaican, I'm half Jamaican, and you certainly instantly get a feel of being in the Caribbean. There are elements like the print where I don't get that same connection. It feels a little bit that it's been just placed in.
I struggle a little bit with the fabric, but I mean, I'm very pleased not to see something with sort of parrots and pineapples all over it, but that's a slightly different language to me.
It doesn't scream out Caribbean to me.
Well, I feel compelled to go up and see what's going on there, because that feels like a sort of prize table. That just fits perfectly in a space like this. There are so many glorious details to dive into here, like mismatched raffia shades over the table, which looks like it's reclaimed planks. So the decor bit, getting lots of big ticks from me. But this place started off with fantastic bone structure, and it was a gift, really. But it's also about that story. I mean, we haven't seen a portrait of the owners here.
They've done so much well. It makes elements like the vinyl images on the wall, in my view, seem lazy. It's just generic pictures.
Okay, that's a bit of a shame, isn't it? Now, this is clever. I mean, they've repeated this from up there, where they've just snuck in a little shelf to eat at. I mean, I'd love to sit there. But I think I'm going to sit here.
But I think, Michelle, with what they have done, like that little table there, like the seats here, it feels like they've sat in every single chair, and they've really made every area a little moment, and I think that's the bit that makes it just seem so professional.
But it's also, you know, that not only have they decided to put a plant there, but they've made a little box for it, so I'm not actually looking at the plant pot. I mean, I think that's the level of detail that at this stage of the competition, I really am looking for.
At Charlie's, the girls are adding their final flourishes.
I hope they like it. I hope they get an overall feel for the place and see that it's a cohesive space and that we've used colours bravely, but also in a good way. I so desperately want to be semi-finalist. I don't want it to finish.
Well, I think the owners are going to love it. I think they're going to be well shocked, because it's not what they're expecting, is it? I think we hit the brief. I hope we hit the brief.
I do love the colour.
Pop of colour. I like it with the black. Feels quite sophisticated.
This little element works outside.
Oh, gosh. That's quite a juicy burst of flavour coming straight at you from this one. It's a massive transformation. Definitely feels very fresh.
They started off with a difficult space, and this is certainly a transformation. And when you saw what was in this area before and how they've come up with a creative way to cover that up. They've certainly put their imagination to the test.
This I love. That's clever. That really works. We've screened off the loo. I would love to have seen some writing or graphics or something like on there.
We know that they had a challenging design brief. Having to keep things like the chairs make it much harder. Though I feel like what they've designed is them sort of pretended the chairs weren't there versus going, how do these things that we've got to deal with become part of the design?
They've darkened their legs, which I think really helps elevate them to a bit more sophisticated. But then to pair them with these colours, and I'm just going to come out and say it, I really dislike this kind of cheap gold colour and this pink. There's a mismatch there, which is like, we do slightly begrudge having those there.
We spoke about detail, and to me, when you go into it, you can see that just the way that it's been covered, the way that the curtains have been put, just these little elements, it just doesn't feel finished.
Trying to give them the biggest benefit of the doubt. Their client didn't want them to paint the tables, but why go fake marble? Let's just go with something completely different, because these are never going to be marble tables. But you know what? The thermometer behind you and the kind of weather gauge, I love that colour wood against the Tiffany walls. That feels real and authentic and of the owners as well. Should we back up a bit and check out the bar?
Let's have a look.
Because I like this as a design feature. I do like a good bar where you can sort of sit. It feels a little bit more kind of, oh, my word, casual, but I normally prefer to be a bit higher when I'm at the bar. I feel like I'm like a child at my, like, kind of...
It doesn't feel like they've sat in the spaces.
No.
But I wonder how they've made that backspace into somewhere that's interesting.
Let's go have a look. Well, it very much continues the theme.
We've spoken a lot before about bringing in the owners and that story. I think you can see that they've tried to do that here with the pictures.
We've got a lot of very different languages going on, from the table decor to the lighting, but I can really feel how much hard work has gone into this. I think we've got a lot of questions to think about.
Yeah, lots to think about.
Whilst the designers head to the Brighton studio, the owners get a first look at their reimagined spaces.
I think it looks beautiful.
Very nice. I like the front of the bar too.
I think our locals will love it.
I think they'll love it.
Finally got rid of the...
mosaic tiles, we got rid of all those. Ching ching.
Cheers.
Cheers. Very nice. Very nice.
Unaccustomed as I am.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, God.
Wow. Oh, my God. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it.
They've made a really special place even more special. It's really nice.
There is a career-altering contract at stake as the designers return to Michelle's studio to discover their fate.
I've got endless amounts of fight left. I've thrown new things at it every week, and hopefully Michelle can see the growth in me.
I hope that between the two of us we've done enough, because I don't want Amy to go home, and I don't think she wants me to go home.
The final's still a whole other space away. I can smell it, but I can't taste it.
I couldn't have worked harder, and personally I've smashed it, so that's good enough for me.
So we billed it as a battle of the sexes. Did the girls do you proud?
But you know what? Amy and Fran have blazed an amazing trail through this competition. I was really hoping I'd see something kind of incredible when these two minds came together.
Yeah.
But it was a little confused, really, although it did have a very coherent feel.
It didn't have the same amazing bones that Banjo and Paul's did, so I felt they were sort of on the back foot before they started.
The walk through to the toilets that they managed to actually get rid of did take some imagination, but I think the colours and the detailing was lacking.
On to Banjo and Paul. There's a lot of influences in there. Did it work?
It felt that they thought about the person going in there.
Yeah.
I loved the old shutters, the chicken wire, and those things instantly took me back to the Caribbean. The curtains in the window connect maybe more to something you'd see in a Parisian cafe.
It's about that interpretation of the brief, because like you said, some bits felt a bit, is this now French or is this Jamaican? And I think you have to decide and stick with it, really.
Yeah, one person's got to go home today.
I know, and they've worked so hard.
Oh, gosh. Hello.
Oh, hi, Alan.
Michelle decided
that as you're fighting for a place in the semi-finals, she'd like to see all 4 of you on the sofa. Best of luck.
Thanks,
Okay.
Helen.
Thank you.
How nice to see you all again. You should all really congratulate yourselves on fantastic transformations. Both owners were just thrilled. Then Banjo and Paul, the concept of the reclaimed shutters, where was that from?
That was me. I wanted to inject a bit of texture and patina in there.
The round table at the mezzanine.
I sourced that, and it was an old cable reel drum from Highways, and it was cut down to fit.
We loved the mezzanine area and the bar area. It really captured the essence of the brief, and that was very clearly driven by you, Banjo. So, congratulations, you are through to the semi-final.
It was brilliant, Banjo. It was brilliant.
So, well done.
Thank
can
you.
go and
Good
relax.
luck, guys.
It was brilliant.
Thank you.
I'm really excited that they loved the spaces that I created. Being on the sofa, like, brings you back down to earth, but, like, I'm riding high now. I'm so chuffed they loved it.
Paul, tell me a bit more about the fabric choice.
I was actually inspired by a textile print by Joseph Frank from 1936, and it allowed us to introduce the colour palette.
The Hessian curtains were lovely and textural, but I do think of those as French bistro.
It was French Caribbean, so this idea of the Caribbean being this kind of like faded glamour.
I could see what you were doing with the curtains to bring that intimacy, but, you know, the owners are Jamaican.
Yes.
And the Caribbean is a big place, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's sort of like someone being British and creating a French cafe. They're very different cultures.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't really think of it as being interpreted as French.
These clients were kind of pivotal members of the Margate community.
Yes, yeah.
But we didn't see any pictures of them.
Yeah.
So we were both a little confused by the photo library posters chosen to go on the wall.
Those images were coffee shops in Barbados.
But they're
and-
generic.
Yes, they are.
Anyone could get those.
Yeah.
This idea of understanding a theme, it's so fascinating because both Fran and Amy, this is where you both stumbled last week. I mean, my goodness, you had a restaurant full of cliches and tiles, so a lot to deal with. But, Amy, there's not a single Turner painting that I've ever seen that has the colours that appeared in your restaurant.
There's a Sunset at Margate painting, which is predominantly mustards and marigolds and browns. And then it has hints of peaches and corals and mints and a teal. And I took that as a starting point.
The brilliance of Turner is his balance of colours. But your colour palette was full on.
I really wanted to be bold, and I took to heart your advice last week. You know, we don't need more wallpaper, and that's a massive jumping off point for me normally. So I started from a reference to a painting. I think I was just really keen to make the space fun and exciting.
You had such a tough job, didn't you?
So
I mean,
rough,
you had to get rid of
nightmare.
all that awful mosaic.
It was an uphill struggle.
In terms of transformation, it was out of this world.
I think outside, the colouring, I think, is very what you're seeing in East London right now. The simplicity of the font, I like that.
It is all about how it feels. And then you could have started with a Turner painting, you could have started with 20s. But what you then did with both of those things, it didn't work. It was saccharine. And then you chose faux marble for the tabletops. Why faux marble?
We just wanted to cover them with something, and we couldn't paint them, and the budget wouldn't allow us to
But
get...
why faux marble?
Felt quite luxury.
Faux
The
marble? Plastic? Really?
Maybe if you squint, Michelle.
Let's talk about the sort of 20s theme.
I took Art Deco and wanted to present it in quite a contemporary way, so it wasn't obvious, but I felt like it was elegant, it was homely, it feels like a comfortable environment that you could sit from the day into the evening.
I think it's really hard when you've got a brief that works for everyone, but I think the job of the designer is to find what is that commonality.
Yeah.
And I think probably the theme of Art Deco wasn't that.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the massive ticks for all the you sorted out, the loose, all of that stuff. Brilliant. But at this level, when I hear you kind of say, well, we had to cover it with something, it's not enough. What about the bar, then? Did it get a bit forgotten? Because the front was nice, but...
Yeah, it got forgotten.
We ran out of time a bit for a few things,
The
but...
banquet seating took me 100 years, and then suddenly we were like, the bar!
The stalls, if you'd have tried sitting in them, you're about halfway up the bar. So you actually couldn't see over it. Just felt like no one had thought about the customer.
It is the details that make the difference. But, Paul, I'm going to let you off the hook straight away, OK? You did enough.
Thank you.
You will be the second person going through to the semi-final.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So, Fran and Amy, Which one of you should go? Fran, why do you think you should go through?
I feel like every challenge I can just get a little bit better and... sorry. Like, I just want to be able to make a difference to the spaces that I'm walking into. And, yeah, I tried my best in Margate. And I know we both did. I know we both did.
Amy, why should you go through to the semi-finals?
It genuinely means so much. I think I've come from having had no confidence to start with. I'm just desperate to stay and show how much more I can do, because I think with each challenge I'm growing. I think with each challenge I'm developing.
I'm really, really, really torn. Fran, you had some big problems to overcome, but you really messed up on the back bar. Amy, you made that front bar look really good, but did not like the colours. They didn't come from Turner. And it's, oh, God.
If that's where you're at, and I'll probably regret saying it, Amy chose the colours with me. We chose the marble together. I didn't finish the bar.
I don't think it should be.
It is.
We just worked the best we could in that space together, and we supported each other this week.
Amy, you've blossomed and you've flourished. You both have, but for just that slither more, I'm going to give you the shot to go through to the semi-final. But by saying that, Fran, you've also done an amazing journey. But I think that bar was really crucial to have just left that back bit.
Yeah, totally. That's totally fair. I love you. I love you. You're amazing, OK? Go and smash it. I didn't finish the bar, and at the end of the day, at this level, you've got to finish things. And I can hold my head up high and know that I did the right thing. What a roller coaster. And back to real life.
Fran is just one of a kind, and to feel like she would want to defend me was incredible. We did make a lot of the decisions together. She's just like a remarkable human. I'll miss her.
That was incredibly hard, because Fran has shown me some really creative design thinking through this competition. But this week, she was just pipped at the post by Amy.
Next time.
Oh, I love it!
The competition is hotting up.
No pressure.
As the designers hit the Cotswolds. With a place in the final at stake...
I'm nervous. I didn't come here to play.
It won't be all plain sailing.
There's no time. We have, like, 50 minutes.
So if you want more Alan Carr, he caught up for a chat about comedy with Michelle Visage's Rule Breakers pod. Listen now on Sounds. Shaping the next top chefs for greatness. Gordon Ramsay's future food stars. Tomorrow at 9. Enjoy.